Get your hands off my mug, James May. That's what I say. Thank you. It does go with my cardi. Yeah.
Well, can I start now?
You get
Thank you. Yes. Welcome back. For the last couple of summers, wine whiz Oz Clarke and petrolhead James May have ventured across California and through France, indulging in their passions for wine and cars.
There is a new series out, and they're staying a little closer to home because they've decided to travel around the UK in search of the secrets behind our national drinks. Oz and James are here to tell us more, and Oz always brings in a bottle of bubbly. And there he is, yeah.
English bubbly.
You never let us down. Thank you very much. First, we're going to have a look at what they've got planned in the series.
We'll reveal the difference between faceless multinational companies and honest, garage-based brewers.
I'm just going for a pint.
Oh, yes, blah, blah, blah.
We will search the culture of British drinking, from the highest strata of polite society to Cornwall.
We'll drink at the very fount of our alcoholic heritage.
I like beer out of a bucket.
In the past, James has been entrusted only with choosing the transport for our trip. In France, we had a Bentley.
Jaguar.
Yes, and lived in a tent. In California, we drove a ruddy grey bus and stayed in trailer parks. So, this year...
I've been entrusted with choosing the transport. I've spent the whole budget on this. It's a 1982 Rolls-Royce Corniche convertible.
And have you put as much thought into the sleeping arrangements?
Well, I haven't put as much money into them.
What were you thinking of, James?
Yeah, do you know what? I haven't heard them bicker yet. Although it's early days.
Then I'll start. What were you thinking of that ridiculous caravan? I mean, 1978 Sprite. 1978 was a very bad year for caravans.
As it turns out, you're right, it was, but I didn't know that at the time.
1982, very good year for cars, and you got the car right.
The car was nice, the caravan...
I spent the money on the car.
Yeah.
Did you really stay in the caravan?
We did.
It's tiny.
Well, except, fortunately, gloriously, one of the wheels fell off. So we had to abandon it for about a week while it was...
Because it's so old,
Yeah,
no one knows how to mend it. We were stuck on the bottom of a mountain. Where was it? Sheriffsmere. We'd just come down off Sheriffsmere. And we'd been making... I don't know, what were we making? Heather beer. Brilliant stuff. And the wheel fell off. Actually, to be honest, the wheel really fell off that time. Once we realised that the wheel could fall off, of course, we were always going around late at night and banging the thing, because, of course, when the wheel falls off, we can't stay in it. No. We have to go to a hotel.
So you were kicking it in order to make sure... you start off, the programme starts off, the one that we've only seen the first episode, White Cliffs of Dover, and you stay there for about 5 seconds, and then you're up on a search for good bitter, and you take him to Yorkshire.
Yes, well, my belief was that, or is still, that Yorkshire is sort of the home of the proper pint. Not just because the beer is good, but because Yorkshire is the sort of place where beer was important, because they did big, sweaty things like steel and mining, so they need to slake an industrial thirst, so they need a proper, large volume, but relatively low alcohol, thirst-quenching, sustenance-providing, brain-fudging thing.
And your principal interest was fairly naturally drinking it.
Yes.
Whereas yours, of course, you had to analyse and appreciate and
it.
smell and do all sorts of odd things rather than getting it down your neck.
Well, that's what he keeps saying. I mean, he keeps saying that I don't drink enough, and I talk too much, don't you? I mean, I personally, I drink quite enough. I do talk a bit much, but you should hear him. He can bore for England just as much as I can. I mean, it's all about carburetors and camshafts and stuff like that.
But not about the actual stuff you're putting down your neck. And James's point that you can philosophise over wine, but you don't over beer, you just...
I don't think so, but the difference as well is that Oz...
Give him a few pints.
Well, this is the thing. Oz will bore for Britain about a glass of wine or a bottle of beer before he's drunk it. Yeah. I mean, Oz will have, he admits this, I have his friends around to his house and they will get some wine out and look at it in the bottle and then put it away and then go and do something else. Whereas I can't do that, but once I've drunk it, then I can become really quite erudite, or I think I am.
About 5 or 6 pints, and he's fantastic.
One of the things that was working in the caravan was this thing called a beer can, which didn't seem to be terribly productive, where you went out, drank a lot of beer, came and said, let's switch on the camera
and couldn't string a sentence together.
Well, there's 2 reasons. One is, I mean, we're not allowed to work the crew all day and all night, for obvious reasons. And also, Oz Clarke is a naturally brilliant cameraman, it turns out. And there's something... I mean, one of the things we were quite keen to get across without saying it, I think we will actually agree on this, I think, is that the beauty of drink used intelligently by responsible adult people, blah, 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 is that it does free your mind, loosen your tongue, allow you to meet people. It allows ugly people to get to know each other and procreate and all those things, which is all fantastic. And there's a movement in Britain amongst sort of government and officials. This is a bit of a rant coming up now.
Go on.
You know, they're saying, oh, drink is bad for you, it's destroying Britain, it's damaging productivity, the glasses in pubs are too big and it encourages you to drink too much wine. But that's nonsense. Because the whole, as Oz will tell you, wine tastes better if you put a little bit in a very large glass.
Yeah, but you don't put
even better if you put a lot in a very
They
large
put a lot in a large
That's
glass.
true.
Well, that's
Why
it.
not?
You might as well uncork that now.
Like for this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I reckon
this.
so. What's this, 170?
You were swinging that bottle around rather ominously, I
Yeah.
thought, when you
Yeah,
came
I
up
know.
with
That's,
Careful,
but the
Aidan.
point is,
But it's not just beer, of course, that you've been investigating. It's other things. I mean, a little bit of wine, but also what else?
Oh,
have you looked
gin, vodka, whiskey.
Oh, did you do
perry.
whiskey?
Yes.
And you went to Scotland, and where
We went
else
to
did you go?
Scotland, we went to Ireland, and we did. I can't remember if you actually see us drink the Irish whiskey. It's in the book, which is excellent.
Which is better? Which is better, Scottish whiskey or Irish
well,
so
whiskey?
different.
Yeah.
The Irish is
You
softer
have an
and
opinion,
mellower and
oh.
fruitier, and the Scotch one is more powerful, more aggressive. It goes down to those dark corners of your soul in the way that